What's going on, everybody? Nicholas Natt, you are tuned into the Natt Fitness Method Q&A. Again, I'm your host, Nicholas Natt, hanging out with Wes Post.
What's happening?
You've got questions.
We've got answers.
So, this show is designed to be able to give you tip-to-tech strategies. Submit your questions to either of the following three below. We will do our best to give you our authentic feedback and figure out how to help you overcome whatever dilemma you might be facing. So, we're going to dive right in.
Let's do it.
Wes has got some questions from social media as well as from the Natt Fitness newsletter.
We've got
Book.
the name, I'm sorry if I messed the name up, Nomanraj put. He asks, what protein is best for size? Which, for me, that's weird. I thought all protein was the same and they all build your muscles. There's some protein that's for size and there's some that's not for size.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good question. Thanks for asking that, Wes, because protein is protein, right? 4 calories a gram. That's how protein works. You have the 3 essential macronutrients: carbohydrates, protein, and fats. Fats are 9 calories per gram, and then protein and carbohydrates are both 4 calories a gram. And so I think the important part is figuring out, what kind of protein. Is all protein created equal even though it's all 4 calories a gram? The answer is no. Not all protein sources, right? So if you guys are, taking, for instance, a protein powder, and it's the cheapest one off the shelf, chances are that you have your, whatever the label is saying, this is 20 grams per scoop, or out of the 23 grams a scoop, 20 of it's protein. You don't necessarily know that, whereas if you're getting something that is a lot cleaner, that is, definitely, they've gone through the research and they've got the backing to get the credential that reinforces how clean the product is. Over time, those are going to be very different sources, as well as if you're, getting lunchable meat, right? That's, you might, in first grade, remember that? Lunchable
Processed
meat,
stuff,
or
yeah.
Oscar Mayer, okay? So that stuff, again, is not as clean as getting something that is, organic, or something that is clean, pure chicken breast. And so what I tell people, if you're gonna have a chicken sandwich, fine, go have a chicken sandwich, or a turkey sandwich, go have a turkey sandwich. Cut that from actual turkey breast, white turkey breast, or clean white chicken breast, because that is a pure, cleaner form of protein, and your body is going to recognize that and absorb that and utilize that for rebuilding the skeletal muscle tissue in your body. So much more effective than eating something that might be mixed or have a lot of crap in it that's not actually going to pay dividends to your muscle or your workouts.
That's kind of a funny question coming up from your newsletter. It's the holidays, and someone is a little bit worried about, they got to eat the pie, they got to eat the cake, they got to eat the turkey, they got to eat the candy. I mean, how do you deal with all these tempting things and not also be like a pain in the ass to all your family, and like just while they're all eating, you're not eating. How do you deal with that? Like, do you work out a whole bunch while you're eating a whole bunch? What's the secret?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because, like Wes mentioned, I think Thanksgiving next week, right? Next week. Okay. So Thanksgiving is really the pioneer and really the start for the Christmas parties and the holiday parties, and going and seeing grandma and grandpa and friend number one, and the step parents' house, and all these things, right? And so with that comes sugar. Lots and lots and lots and lots of sugar. With that comes an exceptional amount of eating, which just means, again, boosting calories. One thing turns into it, and it's like, you're used to having one cheat meal. Before you know it, you're having 3 or 4 a night. And then, of course, what would holidays be without alcohol, right? Cheers to Santa and all of the other, patriarchs of the different holidays. And so what I would say is that you need to hone in, and you need to be completely transparent with yourself. A lot of people have these conversations and they say things and their actions are very contrary, and it's like that's kind of the eternal tension, like the eternal drama. But again, in all sincerity and all reality, what we're really struggling with and what we're really trying to focus on is that these goals you have aren't going to come to fruition if you just keep blowing them off at the first chance because it's Sue May or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your best friend's party, or because it's Christmas. Okay, so I think what you have to do is you have to be pragmatic. You need to be very mindful of the goals and what is necessary, and at the same time you need to be very conscientious of what you're putting in your body. And so I think a lot of people try to out-train their way around the holidays, around a bad diet, and they're like, oh, if I'm getting extra calories, then that's good. I'm just gonna do extra cheat meals and go to the gym and bust ass, or I'm gonna do 2-a-days. You can do those things, but in the end, guys, you can't really escape the calories. They're gonna fill you up. Things are gonna end up happening, and so my recommendation is be conscientious and sort of give yourself those parameters. And if you're going to be more flexible with yourself, be more flexible. If you're going to kind of go YOLO, and that's what you're going to do around the holiday season, fine. Just as long as you're okay and you're understanding. So what ends up happening is people get frustrated because they set a false expectation that is not going to be reinforced by their actions. I think you just need to be concrete and know where you're going to mediate. From there, you can choose, okay, if I'm going to drink, great. Am I going to eat and not drink? Fine. Am I going to allow myself one? Great. And if you have to be that person because you're like, no, I got goals. I've worked too hard to get to this point. I don't want to see that go to waste after 1 or 2 weeks of bad eating. And you're going to, grandma's house and she's got cookies and eggnog, and you're showing up with your, chicken and rice, and she's just like, why don't you have some cake? And you're like, no, just be prepared for that battle, but stay strong because your body will reward you for that on the other side.
On to the last questions for today. Nick, this is from your newsletter again, from a man that goes by the name of Shahjahan Ahmed. Sorry once again if I mispronounced that. He says, I've been going to the gym regularly for 3 months. And my chest and my shoulders are, getting pretty good now, but there is no significant gain in my biceps. I'm using the whey protein regularly, but it has no effect in my biceps. What should I do? Because, it's getting me pretty frustrated.
Okay, so what you're really looking at is kind of the eternal dilemma when it comes to, training, right? So what's funny is, you look at a workout program, and a workout program is like, okay, great, you're gonna break up your body apart according to these things, and you're gonna do chest, and you're gonna do legs, and you're gonna do the arms, and everything is gonna grow at a linear level, and you're gonna be able to see progression times 1, times 2, times 3. The reality is that's not really how it happens, okay? The line of progression doesn't happen in a straight line. It's very scattered, and with that, we find out that different parts of our body respond, right? And so my feedback essentially would be you need to hit biceps more frequently, right? Arms, biceps, however you split that up, and being able to divide that within a good time. Maybe you're hitting biceps by themselves, or with the arms day earlier in the week, and then later in the week during a back day, which could be 2-3 days space in between, so they've had enough time to recover. You're hitting them again, and so that way you're getting in more repetitions. And again, the science behind that would be, the more you break down the muscle, the better the recovery. Better the breakdown, better recovery, one begets the other. More weight is effective, and it's an effective way to overload the muscle and get a better response to the fibers that you want, those fast twitch fibers. But the problem is, that's not always the case. And so hypertrophy doesn't necessarily mean more weight. I would take my time with the curl and the different exercises you're going to do with the bicep. Really focus on a contraction, and that's going to end up building the muscle fibers. When you're training that, you should feel like there's a flamethrower here. Again, pushing past failure is going to give you that perspective, and you want to try to get as many reps as your body can endure, or your mind will permit you, before you proceed with the training. And then they will grow. They will respond.
That makes sense. I mean, I guess what I kind of got from that, and correct me if I'm wrong, is could he potentially then lower the weight on his chest and in his shoulders, and so he's doing more reps there to kind of tone things out and not let them grow, and then add a little bit of maybe size to the weight, so that for his biceps he might be doing less. As long as his reps are clean, would increasing the weight of his bicep reps and decreasing the weight of his shoulders and chest reps also maybe be a tip? I don't know.
Not necessarily, because what he didn't say is, well, I'm unhappy with proportion. He did basically specify that, but he said that he's happy with the results. Okay, so if we have not broken, don't fix it cause going on with the shoulders and chest, don't change that, right? Like, okay. Don't fix it if it isn't broken. I would actually do the opposite and say, okay, well, let's say he's doing this program and it's 4 sets on chest, 4 sets on shoulders, and 4 sets on biceps, and he's not seeing that corresponding relationship or positive relationship that he's seeing with the chest and the shoulders. He needs to do more in the biceps, so maybe it's going to take 5 sets, and maybe it's going to take 6. Okay. Maybe it's going to be, again, less weight, so we can get more repetition out of that. I don't know exactly again what he's doing, but I would recommend more increased frequency, whether that's happening on the day or whether that's happening on a different day and he's doing 2 workouts. When in doubt, don't risk it. Do both.
If you haven't yet, or you're not already connected with Nick, get connected with him on his Instagram, his Facebook.
Signing off.